Woo! Good morning, America. Mm, how's you doing? How you doing? Oh yes, 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 yes. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood in the Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland. It's cold as an ex-wife out this bitch. I tell you that much. Cold as an ex-wife. Getting ready. Start my day. Mm, 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 mm. Must be early for some of y'all. It's early for me, sure. Excuse me. I'm gonna be like Folgers in your cup today. Oh man. Shout out to Art New Style TV for giving me this idea from the link that he showed me. It's gonna be great stuff today. Let me know you in the chat. Let me know you're listening. Wait for a few people. Then we're gonna begin. Because this topic, I believe I spoke on it before, but many a times, what's up, number one grinder? What's up, Josh? Got Namer, Famous Davis. Hmm. I'm gonna answer the age-old question. Do black officers, black chiefs, and black police commissioners do right by the black community? It's a question so many are going to freaking inquire. What's up? What's up? So a lot of people don't understand this concept. I'm going to talk about some ugly truths about the black community. In the last 50, 60 years, the black community has bred a culture of authority issues. You can see how the women lead our community. You can't tell me what to do. You can't talk to me like that. That attitude and bullshit. Because as men, we know that there's a pecking order, there's authority. Things don't run smoothly if everybody's equal. As long as you're equally respected, that's all the hell you need to worry about. But when we get into these dynamics, we don't hold white officers to the same level of disrespect as black officers. And I've seen it firsthand, so has Josh. Maybe it's because of cultural reasons. Maybe it's because we still have an issue of looking at a white Jesus. But we have an issue when we see men, black people, and particularly black men in a position of authority. Do you have so many? Do you have black officers who try to show off with the white ones? You have a few, but those are few and far between. Like a Brandon Tatum. Who said that? My boy Josh and myself never been that type of character. But we also have an issue with the ability of governing ourselves. The fiddlers. let, let, let's bring it down even further. When there's a black man in control of something, he's going to be more scrutinized by every goddamn person than a little bit. And that's just real talk. Um, I'm going to tell you the truth about that commissioner. He doesn't give a damn about his officers. Take it from two guys who actually work for him. Yeah, Mike, bright and early, got to take homeboy to school, right? Take it from guys in the chat who's worked for this commissioner. He doesn't give a damn about his officers. He has done a good job of damn near fucking up the department. All he cares about is the consent decree, regardless if crime is up or down. He doesn't give a damn. As long as he's making his money, as long as he's making his network, doesn't give a damn. He's there to get paid. If you really want to change the police department, one, you have to change policy. You have to change culture. See, all this stuff that the link to where I got this inspiration from the this video, the link to the video is in my description box. You have a guy who was being interviewed and he was a former drug dealer turned cop, which is great. Not gonna lie, great, you turn yourself around. That's not every drug dealer, unfortunately. That's not every drug dealer, unfortunately. And for this guy, do I believe in second chances? Yes, but at some point, you're going to be hindered by your actions in your past. If you commit theft, people are going to tend to not hire you around property that can easily be stolen, such as money and sales items. They're not going to trust you. Drug dealing is a case-to-case scenario. That's usually not the case that they'll turn around and be on the other side of the law. But I do believe in second chances. Now, Ed Norris. He's before my time, he's before Mike's time, and he's before Josh's time. But what I heard from older officers, they said he was a commissioner. He was an officer's commissioner. He's not going to ream you out in the street and embarrass you. He'll call you to his office to talk to you and then yell at you there if need be. And then he wouldn't make a big stink about shit that, that'll get people suspended or fired now, which would have been a lot of shit actually could have been corrected if it was nipped in the bud early, or some corrective training, preventive maintenance, as they say. But unfortunately, they caught his hands in the cookie jar, and the only reason you found out about it is because he crossed O'Malley, and O'Malley was pissed because he took the offer of becoming the commandant of the state police. That's all. When you look at cities like a Baltimore, crime is not because, the police aren't doing their job. Crime is because the parents and the educational system isn't doing their job. We're supposed to be the mitigating force. We're supposed to tamp it down. We're not supposed to eliminate it. How many parents do you see go up there and are involved in their children's education? Let's be fucking honest in this black community. Let's be totally honest. A lot of stuff could have been handled in-house. But because you have this consent decree, you have these fair weather liberals, because every time a police officer engaged, just like I was on, shout out to BMT's channel, well, the cops stop you with the Terry stops and da 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 da. And of course, it's this little idiot. Hold on for a second. I'm back. Sorry about that. That was my dad calling, checking up. But let's take what I was saying about the Terry stop when the guy was arguing about it. See, only black people argue with the experts. You have Google at your goddamn feet. Terry versus Ohio. Officer saw a guy outside of a store with a bulge in his pocket, in his jacket pocket, doing safety checks, patting it down, not moving his arm. I don't know which arm it was, but let's say it's his right for all intents and purposes. And he's not moving. He's looking around in the store, looking around in the street, looking real suspicious. So the officer stopped him, pat him on the outside of his clothing, and found a gun. The Supreme Court found out that the officer was in his rights. He didn't search him. He patted him down for weapons, which the only thing you can pat down a person for is for weapons. And it was found, constitutional. A search is when I go inside your pocket and I need probable cause to search you. So if I really wanted to search you, I would just arrest you because, search is an incident to arrest. Bam. And believe it or not, they didn't want to promote me. And I just explained to you constitutional law that quickly. So back to what I was saying. You have so many people in the black community who get pissed off about expertise. How many people disagree with Dr. T? How many people disagree with Dr. Dunbar? Dr. Nicole, Doctor, don't call me Doctor, Nicole Ali, and others. Green Gorilla, who has a PhD in philosophy. How many times do we focus on listening from our intellectual people or our intelligentsia, if you want to go Polish, but we're more likely to listen to a celebrity, an athlete? We don't like listen to our learned fellows. So we get into this emotionalism, and this is how you really understand how the gynocentric leanings of our culture has destroyed us. Your boys are bitchy. Your girls are manly. I can't tell you how many times, and Mike and Josh could probably tell you even more, how many times I stopped a guy and he has a warrant from a failure to appear in court. It happens. Shit, I had a failure to appear. I was in Iraq. It's not the worst thing in the world. I had a guy fall out crying and shit, and this 3-year-old daughter's watching him. And here comes mama, black mama. I bet you it's that bitch fault. Ma'am, if you don't take your ass out of here. And see, that gynocentric leaning, you get people overly emotional when they interact with the police. You don't need to be overreactive. How you doing, officer? How you doing, sir? Ma'am. That's it. If they give you a ticket for whatever means, it's not your fucking right or time to argue with it on the street. That's what courts are for. Now, don't go out there arguing if you're doing fucking 75 and a 25. You know you're dead ass wrong. You know you're dead wrong. You got to eat that. Some shit you do have to eat. Now, if that person is being disrespectful, you call a supervisor to the scene. But you have to. Yes, you can legally record and all that stuff, but they have to. Don't forget to hit the Cash App there too. Here's the issues. Does the black community respect black cops and black police commissioners? In my professional opinion, I think black people have an issue with their own people being an authority over them in any type of way. You do not give that white man or that white woman on your job the same kind of flack you give the black supervisors. Bullshit. I call that bullshit. You don't respect those governor before you. The officer can be in complete right, and you'll still make a complaint because you think that nigga's not supposed to be in charge of you. Good morning. What's up, Mike? We're going to talk about some honest, 100% shit today. And this is coming from a guy who's been in this profession for years. I'm not going to hide it. We're going to talk about this shit today. Many of times when we look at the black police and the black commissioners, you had the one guy in the video says, well, I think the police should live in the community or in the places where they police at least for 3 or 5 years. What benefit would that be to the cop? You're making money and people tend to break into your shit. Well, he might see the same criminal. Why the fuck do you want to see the same criminal? Cities like Baltimore and others, you don't even get breaks on fucking mortgages in the city or half off rent. What incentive would that officer have to be in that fucking city? Take it from a guy who lived in the city where he worked. What incentives are there? Because I need to be with the community? No, tell the fucking community to learn how to act like some civilized human beings. Nobody ever says this shit. Oh, well, you know, every time I get into a car stop, I fear for my life. Nigga, please. I'm going to say this because I actually had the freedom now to say it. Shut the fuck up. You're going to tell me you're so afraid of the cop pulling you over, but you're not afraid of the 12 niggas selling dope on your block down the street. Shut the fuck up. You live in fucking neighborhoods that are more dangerous than war zones I've had visited, and you got a nerve to talk about this shit? You're right, Mike. We're considered the turncoats. We're not respected among our peers. But then this crazy little thing comes up about we need representation. We need representation. Mike said, just look back at the Freddie Gray riots and other riots. You will see countless videos of black men and black women yelling at black officers, telling them they shouldn't be working as officers. Well, they have no alternative to say, are you going to pay me what they pay me? It's funny because we were out there in the fucking Western District when the shit kicked off. Motherfuckers, there was a little girl with me and Centron sitting there. She had a little sign because you know it's fashionable to be woke and conscious. And it said on the sign, fuck the police. But that same girl, 5 minutes later, came running back down the street. Can you help us? There's a house fire. I thought you said fuck us. But of course we do our jobs. But this is the silliness that is being bred in our community. Why should we even have black officers if you're going to disrespect the motherfuckers? Why? Why? You don't promote that we should have more black supervisors. You don't promote that we should have more PAL centers. You don't promote that we should have a school to police pipeline, a school to military pipeline. You are happy with the school to prison pipeline because you don't say shit about it. Your silence is just as good as voting yes. Let's go even further with that. You don't even like to be under the authority of a man in this community. So your children are raised wayward than a motherfucker. And the only time you want to call daddy or the police in a lot of these situations is when he's too big and strong to beat on. Well, you can't physically force him to do what he doesn't want to do. Hello. I know. Get your stuff together. There it is. Black cops got to go through a fucking department, regardless if half of it's black, that you're being scrutinized and you got to be 10 times better than the white boys. When it comes to law, English, physical fitness, defense tactics, EVOC, which is emergency vehicle driving, mock court, mock trials, investigations, you have to be better. But as soon as we touch down in your streets, you're already looking at disrespect. Community policing doesn't need to be told to Mike and Josh and myself. We've done it. Store owners knew us. Gas station attendants knew us. Hell, I've caught 3 people robbing the damn store in Belvedere Square because the security at the place knew that I always frequent the comic book shop. That's a damn good officer. The community knows him. When they want to talk about the darn Chavez or whatever the fuck his name is, yeah, you're going to have some bad apples who are cops. But here's the crazy part. People slip through the cracks. Unfortunately, that's how the world works. You're never going to have a perfect system. Not with government, not with police, not with Walmart. Nothing's going to be perfect. You strive for perfection, but you just have to know you're not going to get it. And you check, and once you see an issue, you check it very early. I'm gonna really explain something to people when it comes to complaints, okay? Because I know there's a bit of an ignorance. Your boy had a lot of complaints against him. Huh? What? Not you, Officer Faulkner. Yes, he had a lot of complaints. Am I lying, Josh? Am I lying, Mike? Because typically I worked in the fucking places where most cops didn't want to work or couldn't work because they were scared. Okay? So little dope boy A and little drug boy B didn't like the fact that Officer Faulkner stood on that corner and blocked all their sales. He didn't like the fact that Officer Faulkner came down there and shook up the goddamn place. It was like an atomic bomb to the damn drug world in Glenwood and York. So you're going to get people complaining. When you stop a car when a chick runs a red light and she didn't like the fact that she, out of anybody, should be stopped because she runs a red light, she wants to complain. Complaints does not mean that you're a bad cop. No, everything needs context. Let me break this down even further. The first 2 to 3 years, I was always in a physical incident every week. Especially when they smell a new on you, they're gonna try you. Stop thinking that cops are a unit that doesn't get physical. In order to enforce the law, sometimes you have to be physical. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do. There's levels to this shit. That's why they made up a force continuum. Let's really go back and see what type of complaints are they, and what are they about? What is it about? What occurred? Well, according to this, you had a use of force 10 times this year, and you put me in the worst neighborhoods where even Mr. Rogers wouldn't lay his head, and you think that it's going to be peaches and cream. No, not all the time. Not all the time. And the same people complaining are the same people who can't even control their kids. Hello. And when you actually have valid complaints of police misconduct, a lot of citizens are not coming forward because they like that. But the guy who's actually doing his job, treating you with some dignity and respect, in the black community, being polite is considered weakness. How can we tell? Look how you treat your men who were actually nice. Woo! We're not going to go there today. We're not going to go there today. We're not going to go there unless you want me to, but we're not going to. What type of imagery is being promoted in our communities? Do we promote the communal, or do we promote chaotic behavior? Because we're gonna go out into this. People who think black cops are not helping the black community are mental. I'm gonna say it again. If you think black cops are not helping the black community, you are mental. The only people that give a fuck about this community, such as black cops, are black people, supposedly. Think about it. You get more trash trying to improve upon a situation than anything. And I'm not going to say every person out there when you're doing policing is adversarial. That'd be disingenuous. That'd be disingenuous. But what I will say, the culture behind it hasn't helped us much, has it? If we're going to say, does black police and black police chiefs help the black community? We're going to look at how black politicians help the black community. I wish you could say this again for the Negroes in the back listening. Mike said the black community needs to support black officers because we're leaving at a higher rate than our counterparts, which is true. What happens when you get people who play by the rules, who go to who are forced to either resign or go to trumped up charges at a trial board, which is funny. How the fuck can you either A, not have enough evidence or substantial shit to charge the person, or B, how can a person be acquitted in criminal court and you fire the guy? Meaning all the evidence points to this person's innocence and you still fire these motherfuckers. When is the black community going to support officers like that? I'll wait. I'll wait. When is the black community going to support officers who do their job honorably, but get fucked with by fucked up supervisors? I'll wait. I'll wait. I won't hear anything about that. Won't hear anything about that. Josh said they hate good officers, especially BPD. You know it's bad when they break their own policies and rules because of personal grudges. Baltimore City has a blacklist for good officers. They do. They do. If you are these, or if you earn the sour note of somebody up there, it is not above some people to use their authority against an officer. I won't tell you how many fucking supervisors are mad with an officer who's dating a woman that they're lusting for. They will use everything in their power to fuck with you. I've seen it. Let's not talk about how some sergeants didn't give certain officers the day off to go take the sergeant's test. But surprisingly, the white boy gets to go. Oh, but you treat us all blue, right? I'm sorry. Y'all don't want to support black officers? Fine. Don't complain about the white ones from West Buck fucking Pennsylvania, Carroll County, which still has the Klan. Anytime you got places like the BPD doing recruitment in Puerto Rico, not saying Puerto Rican officers can't police, but you're telling me you don't have enough men and enough women in your own damn city? You telling me you don't have enough to promote from your own fucking ranks to put a commissioner, to appoint a commissioner? What happened with D'Souza was fucked up. Oh well, he didn't pay taxes for 3 years. There's fucking presidents who didn't pay taxes that they should. You didn't set up anything? No, you just wanted the motherfucker out the way. Y'all better hit that cash app because I'm telling y'all the real. This is a verbal tell-all book. Let's not talk about how many people fuck their way to the top. And I'm sorry, people may get mad with me. And I had to tell this one lady yesterday, you're probably one of only two, maybe three at the most, but I'm only looking at two, of female officers I actually truly respected doing their jobs. What's up, Leon? Mike said just because you have a black commissioner doesn't mean it's a black owned business. You have representation down the road and you have minority supervisors. Hmm. How many times has the black community give a stamp of approval of a person who's actually been in the community doing the hard fucking work? I'll wait. How many? You got black cops from all over, giving their love and support. And you know what you get in return? Well, you live in a city typically, you get motherfuckers breaking into your house. You get motherfuckers lying on you like you're a dirty cop. That's the reason why cops should never live in the fucking community. Because when they try to, you fuck with them. What about if your kids go to the same schools as the people? Remember when I told you about that culture that we brought in our community? How many times is it that your child is going to be a little bit better off than the average? And a lot of times these kids create jealousy for no apparent reason. Do you really want your kid to be fucked with? My son goes to a city school for now. But guess what? You have to, at some time, you're going to be like, why is my kid fighting like hell? Hold on for a second, people. Think about it. We're going to talk about that shit with Officer Suter. You telling me a veteran cop who was going to testify against the gun trace task force, and all of a sudden he's found mysteriously murdered, and his partner, who was supposed to be with him, split up with him mysteriously? The fuck out of here with that. The fuck out of here with that. Complete and utter fuck out of here. But yeah, so they once said it again. This is the culture we breed. I'm gonna say this, GT. Of course they know who did it. They holding the receipts. That's all I'm gonna say about that. They holding receipts, so they know all about that, son. If they found Officers Holly's killers that quick in a fucking neighborhood in the Western District, where there's nothing but cameras everywhere, people are out. Streets are watching. You didn't find out what happened to Shooter? Out of here. You believe the bullshit. I don't. I sincerely won't. Of course it wasn't no goddamn drug dealers. Of course it wasn't. Doesn't take a fucking. You got 3 fucking guys who've done the job at least 7 years or more. We have investigative skills that God only knows. Myself, Josh, and Mike have caught numerous and arrested numerous people with less fucking evidence presented. Stop bullshitting the bullshitters. Stop bullshitting the bullshitters. Keep it funky with me, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. And that's the fucking problem. Nobody wants to talk about the honesty. You got to think about it, man. When it comes to my son, I'm actually blessed because he's sort of low-key popular and people like him. And there have been times I showed up in his class in full uniform, and you get more people saying, I'm being astonished that they actually know somebody's dad is a cop. So he's one of the blessed ones. One of the blessed ones. Does that mean that's everybody else's kid? No. Let's even talk about black cops who mentor kids. Hold on for a second. We'll get into that. I'm back in stride again. Oh yeah. Let's really talk about this, right? A lot of your police officers come from your neighborhoods. So it's not like we think we're better than you. Oh, it's just that when you get more education, training, and experience, you're going to be held and should be held to a higher extent. and level. So when you're making more money doing overtime, and oh, by the way, um, fuck you and anybody who thinks police officers shouldn't make $200 a year, 200,000 or more a year doing overtime. If they did it the honest way and worked for it, they should get it. So fuck you, Mayor Scott, and fuck you, whoever else. You ain't say shit about Marilyn Mosby. You going through hardships, but your ass has got a net worth of $5 million. Fuck out of here. Truly. Fuck out of here. But once again, we let these fucked up politicians sweet talk us into this anti-black police rhetoric. It's never the politicians that go through shit. Not the way you do. It's usually a fucking cop that comes to your door when you're going through the worst possible situation of your life. Believe it or not, there's many a fine men and women who wore a badge and a gun who had to console mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, granddaughters, grandmothers, and console them because their loved one was killed. And why you think of the Gray Falcon Initiative? Military, police, fire, middle class jobs that young black men could get. But who tells them that they should play it safe? Usually the mother. Or the fucking uncles who've been in jail more times than they care about. Have a personal vendetta against law enforcement. Oh, they'll stifle our kids. Let's support the kids to go to the police department. Let's go build the department that we need and deserve by raising our children to take the mantle. Not in this community. Not in this community. Hey, now grab me a water bottle. Not in this community. We don't give a fuck. It's crazy. One of my wrestlers, his mom told him at the bottom line. Thanks. His mom told him, instead of going to the military, why don't you get a job at Giants? Think about that. Go get a job at Giants. No encouragement, no nothing. Shout out to Freedman's Journal for the Cash App support. To go get a job at Giants. fire department's hiring, police department, military, but go to Giants. But then when he reaches 25, he needs to get out and do something. Pick a struggle, right? It's open. I can't blame the mothers either. Some of you fathers out there scared of your son doing better than you. Tell your damn son he's not going to achieve shit. Scared of it. Even though a true father wants his son to over-accomplish him, out-accomplish. Son is hot raw. Thank you for the super chat. Son is hot raw said, are black police chiefs good for the black community? Or maybe we should be asking if the black community is good for black law enforcement as a whole. Good damn question. Good damn question. Because currently, you're getting the law enforcement that you deserve. The law enforcement that you truly wanted. Hands off. No proactive. Anything. Hands off. No confrontation, no nothing. And you're noticing crime is rising. Well, violent crime been down. Yes, it's because the cops have been putting foot in the ass who needed it. But we got to ask once again, do you deserve our best or do you deserve our indifference? See, I know when I'm talking about some shit about the gynocracy, I'm going to get a bunch of people waking up. Oh, I need to hear this. But when we talk about shit that definitely affects the black community, we become voiceless. You got Brother Leon, who was in another branch of law enforcement corrections, and he was mentoring young men there, giving them words of encouragement. Even Leon once told me, he said he's shocked how many young black men go to jail, don't even have a high school diploma or GED. But we want to blame the police. We think we're really in danger every time a car stop comes about. My parents used to tell me long ago, just because you live in the hood, you don't have to act that way. There are many places in Baltimore. The block may be hood, but you go in their house, it's immaculate, it's clean, smells nice. People are well mannered. But where is the difference? The difference is this: you have to take pride into the situation, the location, and the education of where you are. There's no sense of striving for better if all you're going to do is the same shit once you receive it. All you're going to get. Freeman's Journal said this style of policing, people voted and advocated in 2020. Productive police is not allowed, and they'll try to ruin you for doing the job. Of course. What makes a hood a hood? Hood ass people. Because I'm going to tell you what, regardless of regardless of race, if the people with the mentality moves into that block, you will start to see productivity. You won't see, even though gentrification will transform a hood in a blink of an eye, but when any group of people grow and go into that community and are allowed to prosper, allowed to flourish without any type of interference, as a matter of fact, they get government subsidies to encourage and to enhance the flourishment, then it won't be a hood anymore. It will not be a hood anymore. I'm from Baltimore. I've seen this shit happen many a times. Get the right programming, the right funding. You will no longer see that as a hood. When you see low incomes, low student scores, trash all around the street, 15 motherfuckers on a block. Notice I said it varies. It doesn't matter the ethnic or the racial identity. When you actually have the funding and the support of your government and people, you can't be a hood anymore. But what happens is that so many of us buy into the hood mentality and it stays that way. Remember, the ghetto didn't originate with black people, it originated with Jews in Europe. It didn't originate with us. The mentality was forced upon us. Savannah, what do you mean? You know exactly what the hell I mean. When you incentivize single parenthood, when you incentivize low test scores, uh-huh, when you incentivize this behavior, you're going to have more police interaction. I don't know about you, but my parents never had to say, if you don't stop acting up at school, the police are going to get you, because there was much more healthy fear of my parents than the police. I'm just saying, I don't know if they still do that anymore, but you wish the police took you away because it was hell and high water to pay if your parents got pissed at you. I'm just saying. Woo! Oh, don't even get me started with the city council and and the mayor. You have a mayor in the city who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You have a mayor who doesn't even know how to speak to people. Starting to really believe that we just hold to these ghetto ass trashy stereotypical bullshit. We don't want change. We just want to suffer less. That's all it is. We don't want change. We just want to suffer less. You really wanted change, you'd be down at the damn Board of Education at North Avenue protesting. Why aren't my young boys in STEM programs? You know why? Because we just want to suffer less. We want to blame everybody else who's hurting the community. Yes, I'm the first person to admit to you that you have some fucked up cops. Is it all? No, it's not even a majority. Not even close. 2 to 5% of whatever is going to fuck up the entire 95 to 98%. I'm pretty fucking sure. If you don't believe me, let's say you went to New York Fried Chicken and you're having a fight party and you have a whole 100 wings. That one or two raw wings that weren't fully cooked will make you thaw out that whole damn pan. And that's the same fucking mentality. A cockroach in one side of the pan will make you throw that whole damn thing away. And that's how you look at police. You see one incident, oh, it's all the police. When anybody with any intelligence says, no, we need to hold that individual accountable because that's not a police officer, that person's a criminal. I think that's fair to say, right? I think that's real fair. If they actually put the money into helping people buy houses, get some infrastructure, start businesses, a hood wouldn't be a hood anymore. Are you going to pump money into the educational system? You spent $150 million to buy juvenile justice on Gay Street, aka baby bookings. I'm going to ask this one question, everybody in the panel listening in the chat. Do you want more black cops? Or do you want it back to where it was in the 1930s, where it was just nothing but white cops? I'll wait. That's very true, Admiral Smoke, aka Captain Jack. Meet me down by the railroad track. The craziness of it is that I want everybody, if you have the time, online or in class, go take a criminal justice class. Go take it. Go on a ride along with police officers. You know, like my boy Leon did with my other boy Josh. Go on a ride along and you'll see the difference. Where's your hat? Go up there and see this shit for yourself. Go study. My bad, folks. Somebody called and cut in. And you're right. Most people need to actually go on a ride along. Go take a criminal justice class. I didn't say you had to get a degree, but just take a class. Actually see the causes of crime. Actually find out what they are. Actually familiarize yourself with the criminal justice system. Go on a ride along morning, afternoon, and midnight. And you'll be like, I can't see. Matter of fact, go around each district or precincts, because in Baltimore City we have districts. In the county we have precincts. I want you to go around. And you don't have to be in Baltimore, anywhere. Just do it. And you'll have a newfound respect for what the fuck people got to deal with. See, a lot of people don't understand military service. I do, because I was in the military. So does Captain Jack, aka Admiral Smoke. Think about this. I'm going to go to where he is, and we're going to start talking to him offline about starting a wrestling program and a security firm where he is overseas, because we understand there's a need. And see, when people don't have that need and that comprehension to why there's a need, you usually get these conversations that we're talking about now. Are black cops, black chiefs and commissioners good for the black community? Anywhere else in the fucking world, that question will be a no-brainer. It would actually be quite insulting. All right, Peter, love you. Have a good day. I'm trying to have a good day. Hopefully. Hopefully. See, when you understand that need actually becomes a drive. It becomes a driving force. Once you control the drive, you control the need. Once you understand the need, you have purpose. And what you do with that purpose, all in your consideration upon you. See, so many people do not understand the concept of a Great Faulkner Initiative, why we need more black people in the police department, especially black men who were not being hired by anybody in corporate America. I just put the goddamn article out there. Just saying. You got 10.5 million jobs and black men still aren't being hired, but we're going to sit around here and say racism doesn't fucking exist anymore. But y'all don't hear me though. Please like, share, subscribe, donate to this motherfucker. Because a lot of people need to hear this early morning, because I'm going to be like Folgers in your motherfucking cup. Anywhere else, it would be a no fucking brainer. If I go to the Arab world and say, hey, I know that you like wrestling, I know that you appreciate it, but I got some news to you. I'm starting a new wrestling program in your country. I would be a rich fucking man. I know that you have an issue with security, but I'm doing a program where I'm taking young black boys in Baltimore, showing them defense tactics, firearms training, executive protection, high risk security, VIP security, first aid. I'll be a rich man. Why is it that every time a black man does something for his people, he ends up broke? He ends up in jail. And I'm glad you said that, Freeman's Journal. The job is dealing with the community at their most worst time. Yes, that's the. Think about it. You're trying to calm down motherfuckers. Here's the craziness about it is, you support the white boys, no matter how fucked up they are, the Asian boys. Oh yeah, I got my eyebrow up right now. You'll support them being supervisors. You'll call that white officer sir, but you'll call a black one a motherfucker, right? I hate to quote this, but hey, I got to put a little twist on it. Ask not what your police can do for you. Ask what you can do for your police department. See, back in the day, because I know me and Sandog are the same age, or roughly, we were always given service among self. We come from military backgrounds, military families, police, sheriff's department. It was a wonderful feeling this this last Veterans Day to have literally 3 generations of veterans sitting down at Golden Corral eating good, laughing and joking and talking shit. The first generation at the table was my father and my aunt. My father was a Marine during Vietnam, and my aunt served for 26 years as a combat medic. Myself, no introduction needed, and my nephew who went back into full duty 2 weeks ago in Texas. Think about that. We don't even have pride in legacy in our goddamn community anymore. What knowledge can you bestow upon the next generation? And there lies the problem. There lies the issue. Nothing. This is the reason why you hate the authority. This is the reason why you hate people in positions of power. Because you have nothing to give in the conversation or the situation in the first place. What legacy are you going to have once you are gone? What is going to be said about you? What are your kids going to say about you when they put you in a goddamn box in the ground? Matter of fact, we don't even have to go that far. What are they going to say about you 5 years from now? What are they going to say about you? Well, you know, it's hard out here for a black man. No shit. Difficulty does not mean impossibility. I'm going to say it again for the niggas in the back. I know y'all don't listen. I know. Jesus Christ, we know. Difficulty does not mean impossibility. Anything worth getting is going to be worth fighting for. You can't be one of them motherfuckers saying, well, you know, this trade school or this mechanic school or this college or this academy, it was difficult. It's not worth it. And I like to say something to those motherfuckers who like to talk about them 6 months, them 28 weeks of the academy. The average motherfucker couldn't make it through the academy. I'm going to say this again. The average motherfucker couldn't make it through them 28 weeks. Because the first fucking week, them fucking instructors broke your ass off proper and smoked the shit out of you to see if you really wanted to be here. Mm-hmm. See, you don't even have the discipline to get through the fucking day. but you have the audacity to talk about someone else and their fucking training. Because notice, nobody who ever been in law enforcement will tell you them fucking 6 months are a son of a bitch. Especially if you were going with a fucking newborn like myself. My son was born in July. I went to the academy. I got hired in September, went to the academy in October. God damn. Then you got what? 3, maybe even 4 months of field training where you get your gun and your badge and you go on the street with a field training officer and you got to prove yourself out there that you're competent enough to do the job. Then you graduate and you're on probation for a year. You're not a fully fledged officer until 2 years. And by the way, you're taking college courses in the academy. That's why you get credits for them in college. You know what? Shout out to General General Discharge in Freeman's Journal. Do you even want to be here? I want you to go and frequent the channel of General Discharge, where he does the play-by-play of different branches of service, different MOSs, different job descriptions, different job titles within military, paramedics, special forces. Do you know that a PJ got to go through 2 fucking years of training? 30 weeks of training. Because every PJ is a nationally recognized paramedic, including 6 months of special forces training. Hell, many of your special forces have to go through 8 weeks of training just to make it to the qualifications. Nothing's guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be on my team. Do you even want to be here? When I start the wrestling program out there with you, Admiral Smoke, when I start my security firm training young black men, think about it. I can train them and they'll start off making $100,000. The question is going to be every day, do you even want to be here? A lot of you don't even want to fucking touch greatness. I'm sorry. Even at my worst day, I piss greatness. You're right. This is a path to manhood. We're not allowed. See, I'm not upset with women with their mentality. Yes, you suppose every time I hear a woman that says, if somebody breaks it, I'm coming down to fight you. No, you get you and your kids to silly ass to get the fuck out of here. Your job is to protect the children. My job is to protect everyone. See, once we understand our roles and everything that's being told in self-proven evidence and truths, there's no discrepancies. There's no confusion. The only thing you have to do is execute what's been given to you. What did Jordan say about homeboy? I want him to take the shot. Hello. Are you going to shine when it's your turn to take the goddamn shot? Think about it. For all those naysayers, well, it's only 6 months of training. You motherfuckers couldn't even cut the mustard who say that. See, let me tell you about Officer Edwards. Shout out to him. A black man who played college football, came from Dade County, Miami. Came up to Baltimore to be a cop. Ended up going to SWAT. was a SWAT sniper for several years, ended up being the lead physical instructor for the academy. This man had 3 to 4 classes a day where he was in charge of PT and also tactics. The guy was built like a comic book character in his 40s. And he would run 3 to 5 miles with each class. So you knew how many miles he was clocking in. And still, you think you can handle a guy like that? You out your fucking mind. I'm going to read what Admiral Smoke said because I'm driving. This is also a path of manhood. You must destroy the boy and rebuild the man. Even Jesus, peace be upon him, discuss, be purified, going through the fire to become forth as pure gold. See, that's the reason why the Marines have something called a crucible. Y'all think I'm cooking in here? If you think I'm cooking, give me a woo in the goddamn chat. Say woo, goddamn it, woo. See, when you go through that training, a couple of my wrestlers say, I want to go to the military. What should I do? I said, go to Ranger School. They like, why? 61 days you come out of there. It's going to be the hardest 61 days of your fucking life. But nobody, not your mother, not me, not God Almighty is not going to call you. They're going to call you what you are. You're a man. You're a man. It's like when you get in your first fight, you get knocked to the ground and your balls grow a little bit because you get back up and you take that punch, you connect. That motherfucker respects you then. Well, I can't punk this motherfucker anymore. Woo! We in for a fight. What's up, Josh Johnson? We in for a fight. And see, what happens is because we don't respect authority, masculinity, we don't respect ourselves. I could prove this. How many people in the black community hate their fathers only because they hear one side of the story? Hello. Let me get back onto that crucible thing. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that shit. You gotta get into that fucking mode of it's a fight. Even the Bible talks about being as bold as a lion. Even they talk about this race I run will be a good one. Even the Ethiopians called their emperors the conquering lion of Judah. What did they call you? Oh yeah, might tell you. He would run 7 to 10 miles a day, 5 days a week to make sure you were in good enough shape to be in the streets. Good officer, good man. You goddamn right. Because believe it or not, yes, you got great people out there, hardworking people taking care of their families. But sometimes, even in the jungle, you gotta battle the beasts of the fucking planet. Sometimes I may not be able to overcome. There's very few things and people I can't overcome, but I may not be able to overcome it. But all I got to do is hold the fight till my boy's coming. And guess what? Them men and women from the police department bringing hell with them. All I got to do is hold it steady. See, a lot of times when you go through that fucking academy, you're going to get gut checked. It's no different from basic training. You're going to get gut checked. You're going to be tired. You're not going to feel like shit. I remember my final PT test in the academy. I was in the bed the whole weekend, sick as a dog. I lost 45 pounds in the academy, by the way. I was actually 245 starting. I was 200 pounds when it ended. Sick as a dog. And it was funny because I actually beat my record at 205. This is the midterms when I benched 385. I was 200 benching 4+. My run was about, 11, 12 minutes and a mile and a half. So, push-ups about 80, sit-ups about 80. So I was doing okay. 80 in a minute. Sit-ups about, 80, 85 in a minute. I did okay. But you had to want it. You had to dream it. This had to be your divine mission. You have to actually say, could I go through what that damn officer's going through? Think about it. We're going to always go back to that question. Are black officers, police chiefs, and police commissioners good for the black community? Are you willing to go through what that person has to go through? I want you to go through 8 to 10 hours of somebody bitch moaning and complaining to you, and somehow go back and try to live your family and your life correct. Hello. A lot of people don't even want to know it. A lot of even people don't want to be the hero. See, one thing you got to ask, are those officers, are those supervisors, is that command staff being the heroes to our narrative should be the ultimate question. Because for too long and too hard, so many people do not understand what it takes and what it makes for you to be above what you think of yourself. What are you willing to put back into that community is what every civilian has the right to ask every officer, every firefighter, every military personnel. But at the same time, those military personnel, those officers, and those firefighters and medics have the same question of, do you respect me? But y'all don't hear me though. Do you respect me? See, this is where, the rubber meets the road, because people don't understand the scientific and the social economic and the social issues of gynocentric rule. Do you respect me? And that's the hardest part, because so many people in our own community do not even respect themselves. But you have people like Kaepernick saying, well, it's only 6 months. No, idiot. If you actually read it, it's actually public knowledge of how long the academy is. I've seen dudes who were college athletes who couldn't make the fucking academy. I've seen dudes the first day break. The people you think were going to make it didn't. Now, am I saying that, we should kiss the police officers' asses? No. If the cop does something wrong, yes, he should be held accountable. Just like anybody else under the United States Constitution, the Constitution of your respective state, and the ordinances of your city or county. But when you're asking officers to do something like, think about this, we'll take police officers out the equation. Let's say we got a brother who lives in the hood and he has STEM. Let's say he's doing STEM, making some money. How many brothers who make it and start making money have to leave wherever neighborhoods they're from? We all know why. Because people are going to try to rob and steal from you just out of fucking jealousy. So you're asking that cop who has to confront people that 9 times out of 10 you're afraid to fucking confront to live right next door to them? Are you fucking mad? And then on top of that, there is no true incentive of me sitting here, laying here. No discounts on housing, rent. The also next door program, basically you're living in a fucked up place from what I hear, a lot of these programs. But yet nobody says, well, they respect the community. Does the community respect them? Or are they going to have a fucking axe to grind because they find out the guy who living in their neighborhood's a cop? Thankfully, I didn't have too many issues. I had one or two. But why would you go through those issues in the first place if you could avoid it altogether? Why would you, if you spent all your hard time studying, going through STEM programs, making money, are you going to live in a hood? And that's the video. That's the part of the video. And I'm going to say this again. There's a reason why Officer Faulkner's never called up to give these interviews. There's a reason why Officer Faulkner's never called by Brandon Tatum to give, you know, a different side of opinion. There's a reason why these news places will bring up a Tatum, an ABL, and others. Because we're going to keep it real. You're really going to tell me that when Obama became president, he can move back to the hood? Really? Really? Hmm. I'm really getting upset when people stop living in reality. People want you to live a way that they're not willing to do. They're putting in bullshit that no one would listen. Why would you ask me to do something that you're not willing to do? We're going to really look at this subject matter all this week. Because I'm going to say this. When black people look for policing, they want favors, not fairness. Oh man, you telling me I can't sell these drugs out here? No, you can't fucking sell these drugs out here. You know that. Oh man, you being racist. How, Sway? How? Well, you picking on me because I'm a black man trying to make it out here. Aren't we all, kid? Aren't we all? I don't know. Maybe if there was a white officer, it would come out differently. Maybe it's because they fear that white officer might use a goddamn nightstick on their asses. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe, maybe. Maybe, just maybe. we'll get some semblance of something that makes some fucking sense. Maybe just, oh yeah, you know paramedics get attacked. You know they do. My man Captain Jack said we have to identify and separate culture from dysfunction. Yes. Yes. Oh God, yes. Omega Dread said also they can't lose it. They can't lose it if they never had it. Black girl magic is tragic. Disappeared, hocus pocus. Go do some magic. You gotta look at it, man. When black people refuse to talk about the injustices we give each other, we're being phony. We're being phony. We're being phony. And there's no way in hell as a people will ever progress not being truthful. Even if the truth is ugly, even if the truth is not favorable, we still have a duty to tell the truth. Now, if anybody wants to join, I'll put the link and we could converse for a little bit. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, donate, support your interests. Because your boy doesn't really like to get up here this super early, but I had some shit I got to get off my chest after seeing that video. Thank you, Art New Style, for giving me such content to chew on. I want to tell you, I'm really starting to think that some racist ass person really put that in the minds of black people somehow, some way, thinking that if your race of people is the police, you're gonna get mistreated worse. Fuck out of here. A complete and utter fuck out of here. So if anybody wants to get on, there's the link. Say your piece. If you agree, disagree, let me know. If not, I'll go up about my business, shut it down. If if the captain's available to give a few words, please do. If Mike wants to come up here, or Josh, or Leon, please do. Even if you're adversarial, if you don't think anything that I'm saying makes sense and you think that it's all bullshit, please join us. You know what? That's actually true. Nah, you don't want to go. You don't want to be a elected official. Nah, that's too hard for you. Ah, you right. You right. I don't want to be. I don't want to be in charge. Shout out to the master teacher BGS. He said I've always been treated better by black cops. If you want to come up here, BGS, please do. I want to give you a take on it since you're basically a generation above me. You're the same age as my mom, and give your talk and your thoughts about it from a generational aspect. Because a lot of guys in their 30s or lower don't understand what it means to see a black face and happy to see another black face when you're being pulled over or the police are being called. I don't think a lot of brothers understand that. Too early for you, huh? Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're in Cali. Jesus Christ. It's like what, 5 o'clock over there? God damn, like no, it's like 6, 7, 6. God damn. Oh, well, I guess I'll do a part 2 of this later if y'all want. Whew. So hopefully I gave y'all a little nugget to bite on, and I'll see you later tonight. Woo! Peace.